Hello and welcome to the study room with me, Matthew Bentley, and the borderline autistic cretin, Frank Harris.
Good afternoon.
Fuck me. So I'm just gonna get Frank to repeat a conversation we just had without the microphone recording. Your email is Frank Harris. Why is it Frank Harris?
Well, because when you type in a name that you would like for your email, it's quite often already taken because there are so many people who use email nowadays because it's a pretty.
Alright, so the name Frank Harris was taken. Why not add a few numbers on the end?
Because I'm not all about that life.
That was what he actually said to me. He's not trying to be funny. He's not. That's not some weird sense of humour he's got. He is literally not about that numbers life.
Well, I mean, obviously, I do maths at A level, so
You do-
I do have, I do sort of base my life around numbers.
But not in emails.
Definitely not in emails.
Why?
Because it's just an annoyance to remember a sequence of numbers after your name. I suppose I could have called myself Frank Harris 314159265358979323846264338. You know, because they're the digits of pi. But
I don't know that.
well,
And I still don't know that. Because do you want to know why? I would much rather remember the lyrics to a song than have to memorise pi.
if you had to choose between learning pi to like as many places as I know it to, so for like I think it's
Don't recite pi.
25 places, which I just did, or learn the longest place name in Europe, which one would it be?
Jesus Christ.
If you had to learn how to say Llanfair plwch gwengich togeri findrobo chlantosilio go go go, or be able to recite pi.
You are like fucking Rain Man, you know that. You are like Rain Man.
Thank you.
It's not a compliment.
I'm taking it as a compliment.
In fact, why the fuck are we even doing a podcast? I could literally just take you into a casino and make millions.
My memory's not so good.
You know pi to 25 places, and you can recite the longest name of a city or town or whatever the fuck it was in Europe.
And the longest one in the world as well.
What's the longest one in the world?
It's the name of a hill in New Zealand. It is, if you'll excuse my extremely bad pronunciation, Taumatawhaka tangi hanga ko wawaho tamatia turi puka kapiki mao ho harunuki poi kai vinoa ti tanatahu.
You are something else completely.
Thank you very much.
You are just... You are like the world's shittest X-Man.
Okay, I'm not really into the X-Men, but
Oh, for fuck's sake. Other 18-year-olds are into the X-Men
I'm not
with the 17 men. Most 17-year-olds are into the X-Men with the fucking films coming out and all that now. What have you seen any of the Marvel films?
well, I saw the Spider-Man films. I've seen the first Avengers.
The original Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
The one with Tobey Maguire.
Ah, right.
The good ones.
Well, Spider-Man 3 wasn't very good.
Well, it's enjoyable, but it's not a good film. I agree. It has plenty of things wrong with it.
So, and the Avengers, and that's it.
Pretty much. I've seen. Well, actually, no. Batman's not Marvel. He's DC. So.
Yeah, I'm for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm a pretty big comic book fan.
Huge.
I've got a collection of upwards of 300 comic books at home. So I'm quite into the films when they do come out. I got midnight releases and all that. So Frank, I'm a nerd. I'll admit that, but I'm the likable kind of nerd. Frank is the unforgivable kind. There's no comments to that. All right. So one of the topics, what was going to be the first topic I was going to ask you about, Frank, that before I got distracted by your fucking email and the fact you know pi to 25 places, which I regret asking now.
And the longest place names in the world.
Don't. You're not doing yourself any favors, Frank. Let's just leave that. I went on a date Wednesday night. Yeah. I went to see Deadpool. With a longtime friend.
Yep.
Just because we were of different genders, we decided to call it a date, and I kissed her on the cheek goodbye. We had a bit of a cuddle in the Leeds, because it were cold and all that. So I think it went, as far as the date went, I think it went quite well. But, I'm not going to follow it up.
Okay,
It's just a platonic friendship we've got.
That's fine.
But what I was wanting to ask was, have you ever been on a date, and if so, what was it like?
No.
You've never been on a date?
No.
Could you speak up so we can definitely know that you've not been on a date?
No, I have never been on a date.
You've never been on a date. Well, if you were to go on a date, what would the ideal date be?
The ideal date?
Yeah.
Well, before I answer that, I have been... Well, I once went to the cinema with a girl, but we didn't call it a date because we were friends. I'm sort of the friend to girls.
I know you are, Frank. Don't worry about it. In fact, sometimes you're not even a friend.
No, sometimes I'm just that prick who people hate.
Yeah. It's alright, someone has to be it.
My ideal date would probably be... Well... It's kind of difficult because different situations require a different, sort of setting. If I knew the person...
What do you mean by situation?
Well, for instance, if it's your first date, things are going to be quite awkward, aren't they?
What the ideal first date? I'm talking about a very first date. Let's say it's a blind date, because it's you, it'd have to be.
Is that a reference to my bad eyesight?
No, Frank.
You fucker.
That's not a reference to your bad eyesight, that's just a reference to the fact you're a weird looking dude.
I've had plenty of people say bad things about my eyesight. Actually, my parents were once hosting a dinner party. We were having a curry night, and we invited some of our friends and some of their friends. They all came round, and I was... my parents' friend's son is quite musical, so we were, having a little bit of a dilly on the instruments in the living room.
Dilly on the instrument.
And I was playing the keyboard, and then when someone came in, it was the guy, it was the friend of the friends, and he said, "All right, Stevie Wonder," and I'd had a bit of a drink, so I instantly assumed he's taking the mick out of my bad eyesight. So I said openly, "What is that a reference to my bad eyesight?" Because I get very defensive. I get very defensive about these things.
Frank, you seem to be forgetting the fact I have bad eyesight as well.
I can guarantee mine is a damn sight worse than yours is, pal.
Damn sight. Nice one, Frank. No. Yeah. When I said blind date, I wasn't referencing the fact you wear glasses. I was just referencing the fact you're a weird-looking dude.
Anyway. Well, that's still not very nice.
Well, just get on with it. Fuck me. It doesn't need to be the generation games. Just answer the question. Fuck a doodle do.
Okay, well, probably a meal.
Alright, well, for fuck's sake.
And a couple of drinks.
Right. Is that it?
Probably.
We went through the entire Stevie Wonder dinner party scenario to get that answer. Now, I want to press you for details. Where would you go?
I don't know. Well, really, that's quite a difficult question because you need to know something about the person. Are you saying
you don't know anything about the person? You just have to have your better judgment.
Right, Italian.
That's what I did. My very first date. That's what I did. I just had better judgment. Go here. Right?
Okay, I'd probably go Italian.
Italian. All right. Any particular restaurant? Like Italian could be anything from the nicest Italian restaurant in England to Pizza Hut.
Somewhere where it's maybe, I don't know, 25 to £35 per head.
Right. Alright, do you want to know what my first date was like?
Go on.
My first date, I met her in Leeds City.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. I couldn't drive, and I still can't drive. At the time, so I ended up having to hitch a lift with my mum. Bit embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. But we went down to Castleford. This girl had got herself stuck in her coat, like it wouldn't come undone. So I ended up going into Eastern Court, which is a Chinese restaurant, and they go, table for two? And I go, no, I want some scissors. They gave me some scissors. I cut this girl out of her coat. I cut this girl out of her coat, like, just in the most awkward kind of... when I was saying it back to myself, I cut a girl out of a coat in a Chinese restaurant. It sounds a bit rapey, but it wasn't. She was just stuck in the coat.
I believe you.
And gave him the scissors to back. Didn't even eat there. Went to, Escape, which is kind of like a multiplex fucking thing.
It's kind of like an everything under one roof outlet. But
Yeah.
It's not a mall. It's got mostly restaurants and leisure activities.
Yeah, and we went to Pizza Express. Both had a pizza. She didn't finish hers. Fucking cheeky slag. And I paid for it. She might as well eat it. Went around shops for a bit. Didn't buy anything. And literally it took me 2 or 3 hours. Bearing in mind she'd come all the way from Manchester. Right, so, we were spending the day together, from 11 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. So within the first, 3 hours, we ran out of stuff to do, went back to mine, and she wanked me off.
Jesus Christ, that's early. I mean,
Okay.
early in the day. I mean, to be...
It's never too early for a hand job, Frank.
Well, it depends on the situation again. Everything has context.
We were... Well, it's not like she did it in fucking Pizza Express.
Well, that's obviously not, but...
Right. So, that was my first date. Would you like your first date to be anything like that?
No.
What? Why not? What don't you like about that?
Alright, well, my first... Is this as in my first proper date ever?
Yeah, your first proper date ever.
Okay, well... To be honest, on my first date, I wouldn't want to get wanked off.
Why not?
Because it would be my first sexual experience, pretty much. And, things like that need to be special.
That was my first sexual experience, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but, I'd like mine to be, in a special situation with that special someone.
Jesus Christ.
What?
It's like talking to a 13-year-old girl.
Right. Okay.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a virgin, but when you actually use words special place with special someone, that's when you lose a bit of credibility.
Well, you're welcome to think that.
What would be a special place other than, the slow kids classroom?
I don't know, in one of our bedrooms, I should imagine.
One of our bedrooms. All right. What, my bedroom or...
No, one of...
Pokemon.
Either mine or the females.
Right. Good to clarify that it would in fact be a female and not, a monkey. What else? All right. What would the special someone be? Describe this special someone. We ain't got all day, Frank. This has got to be 25 minutes long. We don't want, 5 minutes of you thinking.
Quite short, I think.
Quite
short, maybe about 5 foot to 5'4".
Right.
In that region.
Okay, I'll allow it.
What do you mean you'll allow it? It's not your decision to make. Piss
No,
off.
fuck off. Right. What else?
Oh, right. Okay.
Because surely you look for more in someone than just how tall they are.
No. Great personality.
All right, I'll allow that. Go on.
Okay, now the personality's out of the way, I can focus more on the aesthetics.
Well, you've just said great personality. You've not specified what is a great personality.
Okay,
to
fine.
You.
Interested in things that I'm interested in, like physics and maths, as long as they're not better than me at those things, because I can't stand being, being put in my place by people. I hate that. And that
Well,
happens
that's
to me
what
an
this
awful
fucking
lot.
podcast is.
Well, this is fun because this isn't about academics. This is about street smarts. This is not street smarts,
fuck me.
but this is about just general, general.
This is about real life things that other people are interested in, yet for some reason you're not.
I'm not disinterested in them.
All right, but all right. We've gone off track. What about the person? So you want them to be interested in maths and physics, but not better than you.
Yeah, or about the same level. For instance, someone on my uni course, because that's a good way of gauging how good they are at specific things.
All right.
God, I don't know. Not too slim.
Not too slim.
Not too slim.
Nah, you don't want anyone. You don't want like a skinny fucking twig thing.
No, definitely not.
I'd be scared about getting rough with them and breaking them.
Especially if they're 5 feet tall. I mean, that's
Yeah, it'd be like.
that's only that tall, and that's really
Don't
short.
don't say you're gonna be that tall. This is not a visual medium. People can't see
Yeah, no, but I
that
just
tall.
no, but they can gauge how short it is by our reactions. I mean, 5 feet is quite short. Even
They
for
know
a
how
female.
short 5 feet is. You don't need to. I know how short 5 feet is. You don't need to show me.
Okay, and someone who doesn't purely judge you on, for instance, your aesthetics. Because if people judge purely on aesthetics, I would get absolutely nowhere.
Well, I don't think. I think that the whole notion that girls judge people purely on judge men based solely on how they look is
And
a
how
myth. It's not. Nobody does that. No one. And if they do, they have got to be
shut.
Kim Kardashian. You know,
Okay.
it's just ridiculous that anyone would just pick a partner. Maybe at first you would pick a partner based on how they look, because you know you don't look at someone in a nightclub and think that they've got a nice personality. You immediately look at the aesthetics and how they look.
Because that's the first thing you see.
But that doesn't, that's just a sexual experience. That does not lead. That's just not a sexual experience. A sexual kind of feeling of attraction. That doesn't link to emotional or relationship issues. So that's just that point out the window, because no one just judges based purely on looks.
I would be terrible at one night stands.
I know you would, Frank.
Because,
Don't worry.
No.
We all know you
not,
would.
not in that way, but because people don't care about the personality because it's just a quick thing, and if I'm still quite insecure about the size of my penis.
Where the fuck did that come from? Where the fuck did that come from? Did I just quantum leap to another conversation?
No, because I've read online. I read online that people prefer. Well, people don't mind as much in long-term relationships the size of the male's penis.
Right?
And that's why I prefer a smaller woman, because,
It looks. Like I can't carry it. Right, continue. I want to see where you're going with this.
So, a long-term relationship that doesn't have sexual relations straight away would be ideal. Just court. Get to know them. Have fun. Don't focus purely on sex, because sex is only really good like penetrative sex, I've heard, is only good for two things: making babies and giving males pleasure.
What about I'm probably gonna stick my foot in it here, but what about giving a woman pleasure?
Oh, that's when you deploy the other things, so I'm told, like the
Well, if you had a big, if you had a big cock, you wouldn't really need to worry about that. Deploying the other things, because a big cock gets deeper in, feel it more, enjoy it more.
No, but I've been told it's all about the girth. We had this conversation last week. As you might recall, I said I've read that a woman prefers to be filled rather than skewered. If you
Oh
remember.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah, all right. I'm not saying have a massive cock. I'm not saying have a cock that's like Arnold Schwarzenegger's arm. I'm saying just a reasonable sized cock that's above average.
right.
That would
No.
that's-
Above average cocks are above average for a reason, Matthew. Okay.
Why are they? Because they're above average. They
Yes.
are above the average.
Yes. So that's quite a bad thing to say, because not many people are above average.
Well, no, not many people are above average. I'm just saying for a woman, I imagine that would be the ideal size.
I just wish that penises grew with height, because then I'd be okay, because I'm slightly above average height, and
But you've got a small cock. There we go.
It's not exactly small. It's just I'm still quite insecure about it.
Alright.
Because nowadays you never really see any pornography that has
An average
size
or
penis.
a small cock.
yeah.
I mean, I suppose there will be pornography with average sized cocks and small cocks. Surely.
Yes, but it's
Maybe
quite,
amateur.
I would imagine it's quite, hard to find.
Amateur would probably have a few average sized cocks in there.
But then again, I suppose it's not really something to get worried about, provided it gets me through my life. And
I'm trying to think how you've directed this conversation towards average cocks.
Because we were going on about courtship and having
Right.
a girlfriend and being in a relationship.
Yeah, but it's you who's guided the conversation there. You're like Michael fucking Barrymore.
It's not even the length.
Okay, so you're okay with
self-conscious
the
about-
length of your cock?
I think the length would do the job.
It's the girth. The width.
Yes.
Like, so... Are we talking like a pencil?
No, we're not talking about a pencil. People might categorize it as a pencil dick, but
A felt pen?
as in
Like one of
one of the marker pens that teachers always carry around.
Or a bit of chalk.
You mean a big bit of chalk?
A big bit of chalk, yeah.
Maybe just over that. I'm not sure. I'd need them. I'd need the two things together.
What, you need your penis next to a bit of chalk?
Yes. And that in a school that'd be quite
That's
a
your
weird thing.
homework for next week, Frank.
We're not here next week.
No, we're not. That's your homework for 2 weeks' time. Get a bit of chalk and put your cock next to it. And bring the bit of chalk in so I've got a general idea. Or maybe a bit of chalk that's the same size.
Or maybe just draw an outline of it. I think that
tracing paper.
Or just draw around it on a bit of paper.
What, your cock or the chalk?
The chalk. Not the chalk. The other one.
Your cock?
Yes.
So you're going to get your cock on a bit of tracing paper
Or
and
just
trace
regular
around it
paper.
because I've told you.
Probably not.
I think you should do that.
No,
I think you should do that.
no, because then you might laugh at
But
it.
if I'm putting this on YouTube, we need some kind of visual to go with the thing, the audio. So I'm thinking a picture of your cock on a bit of paper would make a pretty good aesthetic visual.
No, it wouldn't.
And who knows if it is like a bit of chalk and it's adequate enough, you might get some dates in.
Internet dates, I'm not really that keen on the idea of, to be honest. Cause,
I met my first girlfriend on the internet.
Yeah, but there's always the risk that it looks like a reasonably nice girl. Then you meet up with them, and it's like a 60-year-old sex killer.
Well, that's why we've got shit like Skype, Snapchat, even a phone call would do. You can determine a person's gender and rough age from a phone call.
Okay, let me tell you a story. I was once playing online games with one of my friends.
I really want to hear this story.
and
Go
one
on.
of his friends, and I was speaking through my headset microphone,
Yeah.
and we
Standard.
were going on about our ages, and the guy said, "Wait, so how old are you, Frank?" I said, "I'm 17." He said, "Fucking hell, you sound about 30."
I thought it was going to be something more interesting, like you got raped online.
How does one get raped online?
You meet up with them.
No, this guy lives in France.
So you're talking to a French paedophile.
No, I don't think so. He's 25.
He could still be a paedophile.
Yeah, but he's, as far as I know, he's a graphic designer.
Paedophiles can have jobs.
Well, yeah, but
Jimmy Savile had a job.
don't bring Jimmy Savile into conversations. We don't talk about him.
Were you touched up by Jimmy Savile, Frank?
No.
Why don't we talk about Jimmy Savile?
Because, it's not a pleasant thing to talk about.
It's an event that happened. It's an event that must be acknowledged so we can understand why it happened and why it shouldn't happen again. I would argue that it needs to be talked about in order to ensure that it doesn't happen again. We need that kind of commentary on it. Like the slave trade, we still talk about the slave trade today because we need to understand why it happened to ensure nothing that horrible and horrific happens again.
Probably right.
I am right. Right. We've got to wrap this up. I've learned a bit more about Frank than I probably needed to or wanted to.
Should we just delete this episode?
No, we are not deleting this episode. I want this on the internet. We'll make the next episode embarrassing for me if it makes you feel any better.
It's fine. I don't think you've got that much to be embarrassed about.
I do. I'm just not embarrassed by it. Anyway, so that's it. Yeah, I forgot what I did last week for a send off, so I'm just gonna go with this. I'll see you. We'll talk to you all next week on
Not next week.
next episode on the study room.